Online reputation is basically the public's perception of you, your company or your brand. It's all about what people are saying online. The introduction of social media and websites such as YouTube, Prebble and other rating sites have really affected how people are talking about brands, discussing brands now. 4 or 5 years ago, marketing and advertising, it was very much a push messages. Companies came up with an image and a brand. They looked to push that message through advertising, PR, TV, broadcast, down to consumers. Now what we're seeing, thanks to social media sites, is that consumers are no longer interacting with messages that are pushed upon them. They're talking about companies and brands online and getting their point across that way. In a recent survey, it was shown that over 52% of people, in terms of trusted source, trust a kind of someone who is like them. Now, if you're on a member of a website like TripAdvisor or Prebble, then people like you are also members of that website. Therefore, you have an inherent trust in what those websites are saying. So it comes down to a trust factor. I mean, websites become like a trusted friend and an advisor. The kind of internet forums and blogs are the coffee shops of 10 years ago where people exchange tips. If no one's talking about you online, then you've got a problem, because no one cares about you. So you really need to address that as soon as possible. Now, there's lots of things that you can do to raise the profile of your brand, your company, you as a person. So what you need to do is get people talking. Now, online we call this creating buzz. So you need to create some buzz about your product and your brand and service. Obviously, step one has got to be soliciting that feedback from your customers. So give them the platform to say, you're doing a great job. Everyone knows no business is perfect and people don't expect that. But what people do engage with is when businesses approach them and say, look, help us, tell us what we can do to make your kind of experience as a consumer, as a customer, a better experience. It's getting into a conversational flow with your customers, because without them you haven't got a business. So that they are the most important people. It's an ongoing cycle. It's an ongoing snowball. The more you engage, the more people start talking about you. You're creating an online buzz, and this buzz is essential to becoming a successful business in an era where social media is so powerful. So if you do come across some negative comments online that are legitimate, then my advice would have to be, firstly, make a response from the top. It's no good getting Joe Bloggs who's nobody in the company to make that response. People, if they feel that their case has been escalated, or it's being taken seriously by the business, they'll respond a lot better to it. So if it's from a higher level, then people will respond better to it. If you have made a mistake, then admit the mistake, apologise for it, put your hands up and say, look guys, we're sorry, this is what's happened. There's no point trying to get your PR company to spin it into something it's not. Transparency is absolutely key here. The way online works, if you're not being completely truthful, someone will out that fact, and it will get out, and then you're in a bigger mess than you already may have been in. Third thing I'd advise, host the conversation where possible. So bring people into your arena, or do it on a mutual ground. Somewhere like Prebble is a great place, because you can solicit feedback. Businesses can go there. It's neutral territory. That's really good. So obviously people can give their opinions, the businesses can feedback, and it creates that conversation, that engagement that we were talking about earlier. Fourthly, seek resolution. Make sure you get closure on the issue. The last thing you need is an annoyed blogger or someone with a vendetta. Spending the next 12 months looking for any little slip up in your product line or brand or anything to jump back on and kind of stoke the fire, for want of a better term. Make sure you get closure, and then if possible, let's turn that detractor into an evangelist. Research has shown that if people get a bad service and then it's turned around through good customer service, good reputation management, and they feel that it leaves them feeling warm inside, then that's great, because more than likely they'll go and tell a lot more people about how you took a difficult situation, you've handled it well, and they're happy with the resolution. So as I say, if you can convert someone from a detractor to an evangelist, that's great. It's a great situation. It's almost the perfect game. I mean, Prebble offers the perfect platform for online reputation management. Firstly, you're making that step. You're reaching out to customers and saying, "Yep, we want to engage with you. We value your feedback." So that that is the first step. And once you've made that step, the rest is pretty easy. It's making that first step. So obviously, make that first step. Say, "Yeah, we want your feedback." Go from there. Solicit the feedback. Take it on board. Converse with those people, the Prebble users that have told you what their issues with. And again, it's back to this snowball effect. Like Prebble will start that snowball effect for you. It's the perfect place to start making your snowball. Start from Prebble and then expand out. Another great benefit of Prebble is its search engine optimization. Your site will rank very well. If you've got a listing on Prebble, then that's going to be coming up when people are looking at your brand. If that page is is showing your company in a positive light, then that's fantastic, because it's a third party recommendation, and people trust third parties. They believe what they read online. They don't question it. So this is why it's so important to have, when people are looking at information on your company, to make sure they're seeing positivity throughout the piece.